Yeah, good.
Alright. Hello, everybody. This is Simpsons Hit and Run, a game a lot of you probably remember. It is a very nostalgic game for a lot of people. It is a game for. It is a pretty old game from 2003. So, it was. I think before that, there was a Simpsons Road Rage, which was like a crazy taxi type of game, where the most, like, you just drive from point A to point B and again. But then, when the next game was planned, the developers of the game actually thought, hey, maybe we should let the player to leave the car and, explore Springfield. And it was actually a crazy good idea because the game, I mean, of course it became kind of a GTA clone, but it is very, like, unique in some way, and it's very charming. And it's also a very great speed game, so I hope you all enjoy this. So the timing starts when I press yes when I press yes to see the intro cutscene. So I hope you're all ready. I'll shut up to let you enjoy the cutscene. I'm gonna press it in 3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Hey, I'm endorsing a new cola, kids. And this one isn't poisonous to anybody.
That we know of.
New and improved Buzz Cola is made from only the finest sugars and waters. Plus, it has a special ingredient, too hot for the FDA. It'll give you the get up and go you need to do all the pathetic stuff you have to do. Try new improved Buzz Cola.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
Alright, so that was the intro cutscene. Sometimes it is a little bit quiet because the game is actually louder than the cutscene. But yeah, basically now you know that a new boss cola is introduced. And now we do the tutorial mission to go to the Quickie Mart and get the cola and an ice cream. So I'm gonna be skipping all the dialogues, but I'll be sure to keep you up with the lore, or L, Omega Lol RE if you want, of this game. So don't worry, you won't be completely lost with everything. The game has actually quite funny plots. It's almost like one of the older Springfields episodes, so it works pretty well. But the first level of this game is a very easy tutorial level, but it's actually a really annoying level to speedrun. So during it, I'm gonna stop to talk on some important mechanics, and the first one is coming right here. What you saw just now was screen going to black, and then my car appearing in the completely different place. This is a mechanic named car reset, which was added to the game by developers probably so the car wouldn't get stuck anywhere. So, so the player would have a chance to, if he gets stuck somewhere, he can just, press car reset and he'll be fine, right? And this mechanic is very interesting because it helps us to create a lot of shortcuts in this game. Like, the thing with car reset is that it warps you to the closest road, but warping to the closest road is very often a lot faster than actually driving there. So we're gonna be using the warp mechanic a lot this run, so just assume that whenever the screen goes to black, it's just me using a car reset. So that's it. So the first mission was just Homer driving to the school to get Lisa her science project. Nothing interesting. The next mission is Petty Theft Homer, where we collect the stuff that Homer borrowed from Ned for no actual reason. But so cops don't chase us, we collect all the stuff and bring it back to him. So you also may notice at this point that we also have a currency in this game. We also have coins, and coins are very important for the run, because to get an access for certain missions, we'll need to buy a certain cars or certain outfits. And before you buy that car or that outfit, you can't start the mission. So, that is why during the run we'll be collecting a lot of coins, which are like very close to the place we're driving. So just for the case of not driving like very far away for the coins, we'll mostly be picking up only the necessary ones. And also I got a freebie with the car, the neighbor's freebie. So that is, what you just saw, one of the biggest coin sources. The big blue box gives you 31 coin. The vending machine gives you 15 coins, and Wasp gives you 25 coins, at least on first 4 levels. So the first 3 missions are kinda not really interesting, which is why there aren't really that many things to talk about in those missions. It's just driving. You just drive from point A to point B to collect the things. However, now things will be a lot more interesting. The next mission is the first destruction mission in this game, where we'll be destroying cars. Destroying other cars. So, since it's not a GTA, we don't have guns to destroy vehicles. So we just destroy vehicles by, you know, ramming them with our car. Or making them hit the wall and doing things like this. Also, you might have noticed that even though I bought Plowking, which is required to start that mission, I didn't actually use it because Plowking is slow. So instead I took this minivan that was very fortunately appeared right next to us on the gasoline station. And now the first strat of the game comes, the Smithers strat. Let's see if I'll be able to get it. So what you do is you push him here. That wasn't really well because he barely did any damage to himself for some reason. But hey, at least he's not escaping. So it could have been worse. And now we just ram him until eventually his car blows up. And that's what you do if you're late to work. You blow up the car of your boss. So now this mission, Blind Big Brother, is one of the platforming missions in this game, where we actually have to like destroy things with our character. There are not many missions like this, but there are a few. This is one of them. We blow up the power something things so they don't like film us when we're sleeping at work. So, you know, just the normal stuff, you know, everyday Springfield, everyday Simpsons stuff. That was pretty good. I got the button jump the first try, which is really good. And now we're going to see the second unskippable cutscene of the game, which is also known as the sexy footage cutscene.
Miniature cameras are an outrage. Spying on our women's dressing rooms, bathrooms, and locker rooms is unforgivable. I think I speak for all Springfielders when I say, where is the sexy footage?
In other unexplained news, strange black vans have been appearing all over town.
Marge, that black van is spying on us.
Oh, homie, you're so sexy when you're paranoid.
Let's do this.
So now we all know how to be sexy. Apparently we just need to be paranoid. So the next mission is pretty boring. It's just a follow mission stuff, where we follow this black van to its point of destination. So during this I should probably talk that we're playing this game on its PC version, on its PC release, because it's the fastest. And it also allows us to time the game without loads. So it doesn't actually matter how slow your loads are, because we can all time it, because we can time our speedruns without loads, which evens the playing field, and it's just a very good timing method in my opinion. So a few things to talk about follow missions. There is a rubber banding in this game. The closer you are to the car you're following, the faster it goes. So we want to be as close to him as we can, but sometimes we should also go a little bit back so he doesn't get stuck in there. For example here, he likes to get stuck in the power plant area a lot. So we slow down a little bit and let him do the jump at his pace. And everything's going just fine. So now we want to get this freebie with our car. This freebie on foot. Getting a lot of coins. Maybe can get the phone booth as well. Oh, I think I can. So what I'm doing here with phone booth, as you can probably see, this is a trick that was discovered, like, I think it was discovered like 2 months ago or something, by one of our runners, Bacon Man, that if you press the camera change button when after the phone booth camera is active, it allows you to skip the camera panning for the next mission. So it is a neat small time save that is easy to do, but the only problem is that you can't press your enter button when doing that, or else your enter skip will be lost. This was a hit and collect mission, as you could see. In this mission we should have hit the Bonestone truck 10 times. Hit and collect and destruction missions in general are the hardest mission in the game. Because obviously follow missions are mostly dependent on how good AI is driving. And missions that are drive from point A to point B are in general lose you less time if you make mistakes there. But however, destruction missions and hit and collect missions are the hardest mission in the game, because every single mistake you make usually costs you a lot, because cars can escape, or like, you know, every time you're not hitting the car is the time you're losing. So usually for almost every mission which is hit and collect or destruction, there is a strat of how to do them efficiently. Like you saw that trapping method with Smithers that we did, and you also saw that Bonestorm hitting it in the back method that I just did. So yeah. And also I should have probably talked how I phased through the door in this mission. This is probably important, because the normal method of doing this race is driving all across the town, racing versus Smithers. And it takes, I think it takes like almost 2 minutes more than doing what we just did, doing a car reset and just, you know, phasing through the door.
No problemo.
So this is another place where car reset saves you a lot of time. And now we're in level 2. Now we're playing as Bart. So in the end of last level, in terms of lore, Homer talked to Mr. Burns in the end, and Mr. Burns said to him that surveillance vents aren't actually like spying on people, they're just pizza vents. And Homer was very sad to hear that. Well, I think he was sad. I'm not actually sure. And now we're going into Bart's, where he will try to get a copy of Bonestorm game. But as you remember, we were hitting Bonestorm truck and destroying the copies of Bonestorm in missions 1-6, in 6th mission of level 1. So getting the copy is hard now. And so instead of getting the Bonestorm copy, now we're gonna be collecting fireworks, because I mean, that's the entertainment, right? Also, I got really unlucky here just now, because for this mission, sports car is the best choice. Honor Roller is a very slow and a very bad car, which is why we won't be using it at all in this level. But I couldn't get it in the first mission, I couldn't get it in the second mission, it was really late. So that was kind of slow, I guess. And now we're going around the town and collecting fireworks. Collecting one from Moose. And then we'll collect some from other people. This mission is just a simple driving, but there are a lot of small things that can help you that are used to optimize this mission. Like optimized parking, optimized in general, like boosts. I'm playing this game on 100 FPS, which means that every time I get like small boosts from the ground, it gives me a little bit extra speed. So that is also one of the weird physics thing in this game. Now we go into the last person who we're taking the fireworks from. Sorry, Ralph.
This is too cool.
Get the fireworks, and now we do escape from Wiggum. So we don't have to do a lot of community service.
My ovaries.
And there we go, on to the next mission.
Bart Simpson at your service.
This mission is a race mission, so
Dust eaters.
nothing should really interesting happen during it, just a simple race. But I know that casually this race can be kinda hard, because Nerd Car is usually fast. Although for me, Nerd Car, just as you saw, it barely even started. It was just like, I don't know. Decided not to start for some reason. It was very slow. But using this small shortcut, this race should be pretty easy. And now we're praying for the good luck again to get the sports car here.
It's probably also pretty difficult casually because you've like just got into Part 1, right? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
as a casual, you probably wouldn't know the map too much.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't know the map too much, and also I got really lucky here with Nerd Car, like starting really slow in the beginning. Usually Nerd Car is like ahead of you up until the point of the end of the tunnel. So if you don't use the shortcut, this race is actually kind of hard.
Catch my breath.
So
It's time for some road.
so yeah.
Bart Simpson.
Now this mission is a follow mission, but we do a very cool trick here, if I'll be able to get this. This trick is named Dirt Jump, where we push the black one, which usually goes around the dirt jump, but as you could see I pushed him, so he made the jump with me. And that trick saves quite a lot of time. And that was actually a very clean dirt jump, so that was cool.
That's okay, I've never seen that before.
But then Black Van decided to hit the wall, so I guess the time save is gone now. That is how this game sometimes. Sometimes you're playing it really well, but AI is just not cooperating. But I guess that's how it is with a lot of GTA games.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same with GTA.
Yeah.
Woo, nice one.
Now, this is the end of the follow part, where we get this box.
Whoa.
So now, in terms of lore, we talked to Professor Fring to make, because I think he bought like all the Bone Storm copies.
Energy.
And Professor Fring said to us that he'll give us one copy if he bring him some items to get his giant Truckosaurus ready to go. And the first item that we need to get is an old World War II radio. But unfortunately Snake just robbed the place. So now we have to race him, and then he'll give us the radio. Apparently that makes sense, don't ask me. Also, that shortcut you just saw me take, that was a very neat use of car reset again. Car reset comes in handy. Quite a lot actually in this level. And this car reset, I think it saves like up to 5 to 6 seconds, which is quite a lot. Also now you'll see me doing a very unusual thing, which is a main menu warp. Oh wow. Which I will explain right after I pick up the radio.
Now find a satellite dish. Has those anywhere?
So, main menu warp. Why are we doing that? You probably saw during level 1 that sometimes I was killing the wasps with my car,
No problem.
right? It is a very neat way to do that because you don't need to get out of your car to actually kick them, so it's a lot faster. But in this game, the devs made it so you only can kill 2, or in terms of Homer 1, 3 wasps without leaving your car. And to be able to kill the wasps again with your car, you need to either warp to previous level or to the level or to main menu warp. Which is why we're doing that, because we want to keep getting the wasps with our car. Because I already killed 1 wasp before that, now I'm gonna kill another 2 wasps here, and I'm gonna kill even more wasps in the next one. By doing that, we're following the coin routes, which is pretty strict, but you can always get some extra stuff if you want.
Also, when you break them in a car, all the coins come to you, right? Whereas when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
flip,
yeah.
they don't. So you don't have to collect them.
Yeah. If you kill the wasps with your just character, coins are like in the circle around the place where you killed it, so you have to like make an O, run in the letter O to collect all the coins with your character, which is obviously pretty slow. But killing with your car is very neat. Very fast way to do that. So in this mission we're helping Cletus to collect the roadkill, so he would give us a satellite dish. Now we need to escape Apu, which might be pretty hard with that car spawn. I think it should be okay. Oh, even got the faster escape, which is unusual. Now we're gonna do the main warp again. Yeah, we can also talk about how banging the soundtrack in this game is. I know that most of the people who played this game are really big fans of its soundtrack, and I'm personally a big fan of the soundtrack too. Like, there are a lot of really good tracks, especially later into the game. But even like this soundtrack, the Keikona soundtrack, is really good in my opinion. The banjo is amazing. Although my personal favorite is level 7 background music. So for the next mission, I need to buy Mr. Plow, because we're going to collect monkeys across the town. So, I actually heard that some people struggled with this mission as casually.
Yeah, this is quite a notorious one, because it takes you all over the map.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, you can actually complete this mission on foot without even getting into your car. Like, obviously you need to get into your car to start the mission, but you can like leave your car and still complete the mission without actually getting into your car back. Of course if you know the route, but if you don't know the route, this can be quite confusing.
Especially because the little like kind of marker on the map that tells you where to go, it's usually wrong in terms of like a good route.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you,
yeah.
like, the highlighted section, it will miss quite a few of them.
Oh, I actually need this box. I thought I could skip this box.
So most casual players will probably follow that, and it will take you in a really stupid route, and that's likely why people find it hard.
Yeah, it also sometimes can decide which of the next items to show, like on the map, and it like goes from one to another, and it flicks on the minimap very awkwardly. And as a casual player, you're like, well, what's happening? Where do I go? But as a speedrunner, we know where to go. It's all fine. Also, I should probably talk about the hit and run mechanics of this game. In the right corner around the minimap, you can see a big meter, and if it fully fills, then the cops will start chasing you. And they will fine you for 50 coins if they catch you. And of course, in a speedrun, we don't want that. We want our coins to be in check. So we are attempting not to get hit and run, but of course in some missions it's really hard to do. It's hard to avoid hit and run, so we just avoid cops then. Usually it's not that hard. Also, I think I'm gonna get hit and run here, so let's see how not hard it is. Actually, never mind. It will depend if I'll get hit and run from killing this wasp, and I will. Interesting. Sometimes this wasp does give you hit and run, and sometimes it doesn't. But as you can see, cops aren't very smart. So they're just, driving around, not actually trying to catch us. Hey, that was that. And now we're going to the hardest mission of the first 2 levels. And a very important part of the speedrun, the sellouts. This is a destruction mission where you'll have to destroy 4 cars in a row, which is a pretty big task. And then after it, you'll have a cutscene skip, which is also a very big thing. So
yeah, I was going to ask you about that, if it was the one with the really precise cutscene skip.
Yep, this game has 3 cutscenes that can be skipped. The first one is after this mission, the second one is after level 5, and the last one is after level 6. This cutscene that will come after this mission is very hard to skip, and it kills a lot of runs, like... Oh my god. Not sure what just happened, but okay. The traffic...
It saves like a minute, right? I think those cutscenes are pretty long.
Yeah, that cutscene after this level saves 55 seconds.
Yeah.
The longest cutscene is also the easiest to skip, is after level 5. It saves 2 minutes and 20 seconds if you skip it. And the last cutscene is after bar 2 or after level 6. And its length is 45 seconds, I think. So yeah.
So they're all significant enough where you need to hit them in a run.
Yeah. You really don't want to miss them. Missing them is a very big time loss, and you usually can't really afford that. Also, this mission didn't go particularly well, mostly because of the second car. But, oh well. We are going to do our best in skipping the cutscene now. This cutscene is also very important for the lore, so if I skip it, I'll have to explain it.
Yeah, because Bart gets abducted, right?
Spoilers!
Sorry.
Alright, we got it. We got the cutscene skip. PogChamp. But yeah, what actually happens in that cutscene is that Bart is checking out Truckosaurus, and after he escapes the Truckosaurus, like, he faces Truckosaurus in a stadium in his car, and then Truckosaurus, like, looks at him and is like, I'm gonna destroy you. And then Bart escapes the stadium, but he's being abducted by aliens or something. He's being abducted by the bright light. That's what we know. And now, going into Lisa, the third level. And the whole lore of this level can be described very easily. Lisa is looking for Bart. So we're just gonna be going around asking every single person where is Bart, and if they saw him. And most of the time they'll be answering things like no. And we're gonna be trying again and again and again and again.
I always imagined like a huge theoretical sequence break for this, where because like Bart is like inside the level at some point, and you find him later on. So I won't spoil that.
Yeah.
But imagine if you could just go to him if you already know where he is.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
skip like, you know, how long this level takes, like 10
Yeah,
minutes
that would
or
have been like a solid 10 minutes time save. That would have been pretty neat. But
because you can access where he is like right at the start, but I assume he's not there until you've done the missions.
Yeah, he only spawns there in the last mission of the level.
Yeah. I can't imagine the developers were that dumb to just leave him there.
I mean, I guess knowing the developers, sometimes you wonder if they actually could, you know. If sometimes you may believe that they may have done that mistakes, but they actually didn't do that big of a mistake. But let's say that sometimes their coding is very interesting and creates a very funny bugs.
So, I have a question. I don't know if you've gone over it yet, but the mission skips, does this category forbid them? I think it does, right?
Yes. This category can be described as any % no mission skips. Because the fastest way to complete this game is obviously any %, and this game has a mechanic which is like mission skips, as you said, and to skip the mission, you need to fail it 6 times, and after failing it 7th time, the game is like, well, you're not doing really well. Do you want to maybe skip the mission? But the thing is, the game also counts restart mission as the mission fails. So, you know, the category just transforms into restart the mission 6 times, then fail it. And as you can probably guess, it's not very enjoyable way to play the game, because you're barely actually playing the game. I believe you only complete 10 missions out of 49. Well, out of 50 if you count the tutorial in any %. So
yeah, I think this game was the first one of it to have kind of skips like this, because now we see them very often, like Red Dead 2, GTA 5, like all the franchises have these skips. But I think this game was the first one to do this.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm like a big fan, because I casually like never like skipping, but I think it's generally a good thing, right? Because for a casual, you don't want to like be stuck on some mission you don't enjoy for a few hours. Like, it's not a very enjoyable experience, and it is understandable why mechanics like this exist. And of course,
there are like casually, there are some that are actually pretty tough.
Yeah,
Like,
especially later into the game.
If you're playing this, yeah, if you're playing this when you're younger, like I'm pretty sure this game is like 7+, right, or some shit like that age rate.
I think yes, I think it's 6+, maybe 7+, yeah, something like that.
So yeah, if you're like you know, like 7-year-old or whatever playing it, like you're likely gonna get stuck on the field. At least.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking against
Interesting missions. I just kind of failed a strat of getting him stuck into the corner to hit him from the back, but this also works, just a little bit slower. Hitting Cletus from the sideway. This is another hit and collect mission. And yeah, hitting him from the side is slower, but not much I could do here. Now we wait for him to let me get the last items.
Perhaps you should consult Professor Frink at the observatory. He seems to know everything. Except why I ever came to this jerk Portugal.
And now we're trying to Professor Frink, who will finally give us some valuable information about where Bart is. But we won't know it because we skip the dialogue, not like this. But Professor Frink actually tells us that Bart disappeared in a bright light. All that doesn't tell us that much. So we buy a cool outfit because we'll need it later for a certain mission. And now we're looking for a traffic car to go and buy the school bus, which is needed for this mission. We got the Fishman, which is not the best car here because here we're gonna be try to drive over the rocks, which is sometimes awkward to do. But driving over it allows you to get some points. Optimally, you'd want a pickup truck here, but unfortunately, pickup truck left a little bit too early for us to get him. And now we're gonna be destroying chase sedans because we think that Bart might be in one of them.
So the number one thing that you do if you're looking for your brother and you're like, oh, he's in that car, time to blow it to smithereens.
Yep. It sounds like a great idea. And also using a very tough car, the school bus, which just smashes those cars. Like you saw what happened with the first car. He just got destroyed in a second. This mission is a destruction mission, which I think it's the easiest destruction mission in the game. Maybe after Smithers. It can go wrong though. Like the second car is kind of an RNG thing. But if it goes well, it'll die pretty damn quickly. Like that. I'm not sure if that's the best way of looking for your brother, but hey. Who am I to challenge Lisa's big brain?
True.
Now the last car. Good question to ask what's going on in this town after blowing up the cars. And now we do the enter storage skip. And now we do another follow mission. This mission used to be a giant RNG place. Like, this mission can lose you around 20 seconds if you don't do the manipulation. Basically this mission is follow and collect, where we follow Snake and we collect the items he drops. So we want him to drop the last item as early as he can. But sometimes he doesn't do that. Sometimes he do not cooperate, and he drops it really late. Oh my god. I've never seen that drop before, and also because of this I now won't be able to actually do the manip. So now we're just spraying to RNG. And we got the good RNG. So all is good. But yeah, what you just saw that Snake was going to that dam, right? He was going to that jump over that broken bridge. And he can drop the last item up to the observatory. So you can imagine if he drops the last item near the observatory, you can imagine how much time it loses to go actually back to the casino.
Yeah, because you can't do the jump on the way back, right? You have to go all the way around.
Yeah, you have to also go all the way around because you can do the jump as you said.
Yeah, it's a one-way thing.
Basically lose around 20 to 25 seconds, like the worst drop. Very bad. Not recommended. And now Wiggum said to us to talk to Sea Captain for some reason, out of all people. And he said that he'll give us information if we collect the fish around the city. Which is, again, a very logical thing to do. So let's do that. This mission's pretty boring in my opinion, not the fan. It's just a simple drying mission around the town. But at least we can hear the banging Lisa theme. Personally, as a casual, I really like this level. Like, its gamma is really cool, the colors are good, the background theme, and in general, like the Squidport area is, in my opinion, is the best made in the game. Yeah, we're just enjoying the relaxing drive in this mission, nothing really happening. But the next mission will be a very hard one. So, gonna get ready for that one.
I've never noticed before that these collectibles don't have the usual animation when you collect them.
What do you mean, the animation?
Like, you know, usually when you collect them, they have like a almost like a sparkle where they go like, you know, they acknowledge that you're collecting them. But these just don't have that; they just disappear.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of never noticed that, but yeah, they actually don't.
Am I insane? I swear there's usually like an animation when you pick up stuff in this one.
I think it might be due to like different items into that like sparkling areas. I think that's what's happening. For someone it works like that, for someone it doesn't. But yeah, I know what you're... Now that you said it, I know what you're talking about, yeah. I think it's just due to the fact that you're collecting the fish and how it looks. And also, this is a very hard strat in the game that I just failed, which is called Fast Limo, where you optimally you'd want to kill the limo by facing him into that wall. But unfortunately for me, he escaped, so I'm forced to do the backup, which doesn't lose that much time, but it's like a 10 seconds time loss. So I guess nothing major, but a little bit unfortunate. So now we destroyed the limo, where probably was Bart's, and it's funny that Lisa actually says, "Oh no, I destroyed the limo and killed Bart's." Well, that probably wasn't the best idea to do then. But fortunately, Captain tells us that Bart never got into the limo, and he's right here. Hello, Bart.
And he's like a zombie for some odd reason.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the ultimate climax of the level.
Yep. And now what happened is that we found Bart, but Bart can't actually talk normally. He's talking some gibberish, can barely, you know, make words. So now as March, we'll have to investigate what's happening and why did that happen. So that will be the goal of this level, the ultimate lore goal of this level. Also, this is a very simple follow part of the mission, because it's hard to fail because, like, you know, the area of the fail is very big. But now we actually need a hit and collect strat, which is called Donut Fire. So what we do is we let the donut truck hit us, and then lead him into this dead end, and then hit him from the side. And that was pretty good. But then garbage truck appeared right in front of us and, you know, did the usual thing that traffic does in this game.
The game giveth and the game taketh away.
Yep. Yes. Good old classic garbage trucks. So the rest of the march is, until the last mission, is like pretty easy. At least in terms of speedrun, like follow missions, just driving missions. But we'll be collecting a lot of coins during that, so that'll be important to think.
Which level has the ketchup packets one? That's the best place.
The ketchup packets are in the next mission.
That's
so,
the next mission? Okay.
Yeah, it is in the next mission where we'll be traveling around with Cletus collecting ketchup packets for winter. To talk with him about the crab circle, which is in the tobacco fields. There is a crab circle in the shape of board that appear in the tobacco fields, and this is the part of our investigation about what's happening with boards. So now we're just following him to talk to him because he doesn't want to talk to us for some reason. I don't actually remember why. I think it's because he thinks that we're some news reporter or something. So we have to follow him and collect the stuff he drops. This mission can actually be pretty scary because he drops fairly well and fairly fast. So if you spend a little bit more time in coin collecting, you might fail. But in general, that shouldn't happen. So there is another garbage truck in our way. My favorite car in this game. Also, I should have probably talked about the car, you know, the despawning mechanic, which is, I mean, fairly obvious, but I guess I should also talk about that. Looking back, when you are in the car, it spawns objects in front of you, and by objects I mean cars, pedestrians, lampposts that are falling, you know, a lot of things. So to avoid hit and run, we look back. We do that a lot. So now we go and buy inmates, which is the required outfit for the next mission, and we do the main menu warp again to get the wasps.
I'll do my best.
And there it is. This is the ketchup packet collecting mission. I know that this mission is actually quite troublesome casually because of the last ketchup packet. Like, people mostly don't struggle with the first 17, but the last one is very tricky. And it's also Huh?
I said I don't remember where the last one is.
Oh, you'll see. It is very high, and that is the problem. But the last ketchup packet can be quite problematic, but the rest of them is just, you know, a simple driving lane. However, optimized driving in this mission is quite tricky. So, for example, the shortcut jump I'm about to take can be quite hard to make correctly. But all is good. We landed perfectly on a ketchup packet.
It's trouble. Women drivers aren't very good. I just had that thing.
Got the wasp here, and the last ketchup packet is on top of that moving circle that you probably saw in level 1. It's also called as a Wheel of Fortune because sometimes it is really hard to understand if you should go left or right of that moving thing. And obviously if you fail the jump, you have to try again. It's a really big time loss because of how slow Cletus truck is. But luckily for us, all is good. Wheel of Fortune was kind to us. No problem happens.
Really damage your car as well. Like,
Huh?
Doesn't hitting that thing like usually really damage your car too?
Yeah, it also can do quite a lot of damage to your car, but usually there are quite a lot of wrenches around, so your car shouldn't be really that damaged. But yeah, it might do quite a decent amount of damage to your car, yes. That is an interesting traffic accident there. So here we're running to the phone booth to call Malibu Stacy car, because it is a lot better to use for the next few missions than Canyonero. As you could probably see in the previous few missions, Canyonero physics are one of the weirdest physics in this game. Controlling that car is quite difficult. Sometimes it just flips for no actual reason, it just does that, because, I don't know, car is tired I guess, it just wants to sleep. And using Malibu Stacy is better. It is a lot easier to handle, and it's actually the same speed as Canyonero. The only problem is that... Huh?
Go on.
The only problem is that you have to listen to annoying Lisa voice lines on the way.
Everyone better stay out of my
But
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a car that looks very similar to the Canyonero called the Landstalker in GTA games, and that one also has like a tendency to flip. So it's
Yeah.
quite interesting how they look like identical, and they both have the same annoying physics that no one wants
Yeah,
to-
but it's basically the same experience, honestly. When I played GTA casually and I was wrangling soccer, the experience is quite similar. Although Canada is a little bit more stable, but it still is not a very pleasant car to drive. Driving Malibu Stacy is a lot better. So this mission is a very infamous run killer mission. RNG run killer, because sometimes you can get the so-called 2-cycle in this mission, where this chase to the end which we were following just won't drop one of the items. And what's happening is that we'll have to go all the way. It have to go all the way, like from the first drop to 10th drop again, and like it have to do all full circle again to drop the last drop that it misses. So let's hope it won't happen, because that is a really big time loss. It is a solid minute 30 seconds time loss because of RNG. Not the really common occurrence, but happens quite often. So this is the part where he can just miss the drop. This is one of the drop zones where he might miss the drop. So I'm looking back to make him go slower, just so he has more time, just so he spend more time, you know, in the drop zone to actually drop the item. But this time all's good. No 2-cycle. Everything is okay. So now we just have to get away from the black sedan, which is pretty easy. And after that, you almost, I don't think you can even fail this mission after that.
I feel like this stage has like the most shortcuts out of any, so like escape missions are stupidly easy because the AI doesn't use them.
Yes, I'd say they're mostly easy, but I think as a casual I actually struggle with some of those because they're easy when you know the routes, right? You know where you want to go, and when you actually
all the secret alleyways and stuff.
Yeah, and when you expect, the fact that you're gonna be chased. But when you don't escape, sometimes you can don't know where to go and all that stuff. And now the the last unskippable cutscene of the game, the crab circles cutscene.
Huh? What?
For the last freaking time, tell me about the crap circles.
There I was surrounded by Tojo and his Nazi henchmen, when one of them, a raccoon as I recall, hits me with a banjo. Now, I never reasoned with a raccoon, let alone a Nazi one, so
Grandpa, what does this have to do with the crap circle?
Not a thing! Where was I? Right, now, the first time I rode in a water car...
Crab circle.
Okay. It was so long ago that I'll have to describe it in sepia tone. Well,
I love how close the moon is in that. It's like 2 feet away from the Earth.
With an old-fashioned radio antenna coming off it.
It's like gargantuan inside.
That sounds awfully familiar. I think it was at the Quickie Mart. That's it. It was on a bottle of pop. Maybe that will jog Bart's memory.
And now the big true was revealed.
I have no idea.
It was the evil Cola who destroyed the Bart's minds. And we're gonna fight against it now.
I swear I used to be a better runner.
So the next mission is actually the second mission, the second on foot mission, which also can make trouble for casual people. I remember it made a lot of trouble for me because I didn't know how to sprint as a kid. Because
You didn't know how to sprint.
yeah, I didn't know how to sprint, so that was quite a troublesome mission to do without sprinting. Like not easy. But
I don't
my
know how
big
the
brain back then.
tutorials
Huh?
It's like, does it teach you how to sprint? I assume it
No,
does, right?
there is actually no tutorial anywhere. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so if you don't go into the settings and look up that there is a sprint button, then you actually
Just, like,
most
press
likely
all the buttons.
yeah, then you most likely won't even know that there is a sprint button. So, but I actually came up as a child. I came up with the strat of parking my car near one of the cola cans to save some time. and to barely make it. So that helped me back then. So here we just collect some coins while collecting the colocans. Nothing really too hard in this mission. However, the next mission is considered the hardest mission in the game by a lot of people. From outer space, also known as cola trucks. In that mission we'll have to destroy 3 cola trucks in a row. All of them are quite difficult to destroy. They're quite healthy, so hard mission incoming.
I would have thought that surely like the ending missions people would think are the most difficult. There's those drives where you have to like not blow up the chemical on the back while also on like quite a strict time limit.
Oh, we'll have quite an interesting way of dealing with those missions. We came up with quite interesting strats with those, but I'm gonna talk about them in level 7. No spoilers yet. But yeah, those missions are really hard. Are both really hard casually and as a speedrun. But
Yeah,
we basically
I
got.
definitely remember like them being the hardest for me.
Yep.
When I played this.
But recently they got a huge development, and level 7 in general got just broken. So a lot of insane strats will come up there. I kinda didn't do really well with the first cola truck because the science strat kinda failed, and then I went for the just dealing damage to him instead of going for the regular backup. But in general it's all fine. It's not the fastest, but it's all good. Now we get this box, which is a little tricky to get.
Very good at this.
That is a Simpsons skin run physics right there. Just a good old cola trucks flying into the space.
It's impressive how you can do that. Like you can just manhandle those trucks with an SUV.
Yep. But Canyonera is actually one of the best cars in this game in terms of like destruction, because it has a lot of mass, so it is very good for pushing. And pushing is generally the best method of destroying cars in this game. Like pushing them from the back to like into the wall or into the tree is basically the fastest way of destroying cars in this game.
And it's also like not mega slow like the Mr. Plows and the Plow Kings.
Yep.
They're all like they do a lot of damage, but they're mega slow.
Yep. Getting a lot of momentum when like driving them into the wall is very important, obviously. So Canyonera is pretty decent for that. Because of how good it is in terms of mass, it is even used in different categories in level 6 for the bonus mission level 6. Because you literally don't get a better car for destruction missions until like level 7. That's how good the Canyonera actually is.
You took my precious cola, Mark.
And now the final escape is we just enter the Simpsons house. Basically how it works is interiors are really far in the map from the actual map. So getting into the interior actually makes you escape instantly. So
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I remember seeing like a I don't know the name of the series, but basically it's like a YouTube series where they take games and like move the camera out of the regular playing pane so you can see like, you know, what's going on outside. And I remember they always have, this game always has, maybe not always, but even when you're playing the level, it always has like certain interiors. Like I think when you have the first stage loaded, yeah, Boundary Break, that's what I'm
yeah, Boundary Break, yes. I was trying to remember too, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, and apparently like while the first stage is loaded, they actually always have the interior like there too. As you said, it's just really far away. Like,
Yep.
But you can pan to it if you can like, you know, break the boundaries.
Yep. That is indeed how it works.
Yeah.
And since this game is 100% realistic, if you're ever chased by the cops, just go to your house. Lol. So now we're playing as Apu, the only not Simpsons playable character in this game. And this level is considered the hardest in speedrunning. So a lot of really hard struts come up in this level. A lot of really bullshit things can happen also, so we'll see how it will go. But I believe it is considered the hardest level right now. Although level 7 with recent discoveries also became quite hard. So this mission is the follow mission, but this will be really scary right in the end. Because as usual we collect a lot of coins during the follow segments of run. And this college truck is running pretty fast and pretty well, so you're quite short on time in terms of collecting things. Also sometimes I look back so he doesn't get stuck on the walls and stuff. And also I believe Vote Quimby just tried to make me vote Quimby by blocking my way.
Your misfortune is most entertaining. Look here.
So this box, for example, can be pretty scary to get. And also this is the second mission where the 2-cycle can happen, but it's extremely rare here. I think I got it only 2 times in like a year of running this game. So this 2-cycle is extremely rare, but it happens sometimes. So a little bit scary, but all's good.
Legitimate businessman social club. Looks like Abdul Asafima Petalon is taking on. Oh.
Now we buy American, because it will be a requirement for one of the next missions.
Hello,
Now this mission is really easy, nothing really interesting will happen here. This is just a simple escape 2 times from the limo. Not really that hard considering that limo is really bad at following you.
smiles on such behavior.
Just go straight here, we just hit this and we turn around. And the game gets really confused when you don't actually go to the hospital area and limo just gives up.
Yes, you.
And here I just hit the invisible wall because that's how the game works. The stairs in this game and Longhorn don't really work very well together.
Mr. Homer.
So the next mission is one of the most infamous missions in this game, because this is a hidden collect mission which we don't have a strat for, because Baby Van, which is another name for this mission, drives really awkwardly and really differently sometimes. I got the smart driver this time, and actually got a really good Baby Van. Wow. I just got one of the best struts I've ever gotten.
I am a lean, mean, vindaloo machine.
Is it this car that's like stupidly fast?
It's not stupidly fast, it's really bad with driving. Sometimes it just starts turning around left and right, or just awkwardly starts doing 360, like staying on the same place, just start doing 360s for no actual reason.
I remember there was one of, I think, Homer's cars that were like, yeah, ridiculous, like, you know, fast and really hard to handle. Maybe it's like the last one I'm thinking of that you get.
Yeah, it's the last one which you get on the level 7. So, yeah, that was actually really good. I'm surprised how when this went really well. A little bit unlucky with the boss, but it's okay. So this mission is just a simple collect, but the second part is the follow part. And this mission is really scary because we're gonna be following Chief Wiggum, and he drives really fast and really well. So this mission kills a lot of fronts. Scary mission.
This is not good for my insurance. Hurry up or my arranged bride will chastise me.
Didn't get that freebie for some reason. Interesting.
Human crickets.
Let's try this maybe? Nope. Game is not in the mood to give me any freebie kills. Also, this car has an amazing horn, which I can spam now for no reason. Hope you all enjoyed that great musical bit. So this is the end of this follow mission, and the next mission is, I believe, is the mission that gives casual people a lot of problems. The mission where you have to collect the garbage from the garbage truck and then from a lot of other places. So the interesting thing about this mission is that you're on a global timer. You don't know about that, but you're on a global timer. As you can see, you have 4 minutes to do literally everything in this mission. But you don't know about it, so first you might see and think, hey, I only need to collect 5 garbage packages or something, I don't know, from the garbage truck which drives really slowly. Like, how can this mission be hard? But it will be hard. Also here I'm gonna be looking backwards because garbage truck drives better if you don't look at him.
Hard missions with global timers in this game pretty rare. Like usually they're like you get extra time based on like each checkpoint, right?
Yep. And sometimes the checkpoints are very deceiving. Like sometimes game tells you like drive there, and then midway it'll give you like a new task and give you even more time.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like in the most of the missions it is that way, but also that wasp is not cooperating for some reason. Oh well. That is interesting. Sometimes wasps are like this in this game. Sometimes, you know, they don't like you sometimes. Like this wasp. This wasp didn't like me and it just left. Also, I'll have to collect some extra stuff just to make my coin route safe.
Is it the wasps that attack you and make you lose coins?
Yep. So you can't actually die in this game, but wasps can shoot you, and every attack that you get loses 5 coins, I believe. Make you lose 5 coins, so. Ow. This wasp is really not in the mood for playing today, huh?
Yeah, sometimes they just keep juking you like that.
Yep. It even tried to scam me out of the coins, but I got him in the end.
I thought they didn't even drop the coins, but yeah, it just dropped them to the base level. I was gonna say.
That is a very interesting traffic accident happening. It's like this mission is in a very interesting mood. Where random weird things are happening. And this wasp is also not liking me a lot. So here you do a little bit advanced routing. You get these 4 garbage things, and then you reset the car here, so you can collect the last sticker. Very convenient. So now it's just a simple drive back, nothing really will be happening, but now we're stepping into a danger zone. The next 2 missions are 2 destruction missions. Both of those are extremely difficult. Well, struts are quite difficult, let's say it that way. And both can lose you crazy amount of time if you fail them. Like, the first one can lose you up to like minutes, and the second one can lose you also quite a lot, depends on how good your backup is. So, next 2 missions are what makes Apu very hard level. Also, I should probably talk a little bit about the lore again, but basically Apu is trying to find out of who is behind the cola trucks. And to do that, he ended up asking Snake, and now we're working for Snake, for him to tell us who is behind that. But first we need to help him with the community service, as he calls it. Yeah, also here we do the so-called Sadly warp, where we warp to level 4 instead of doing main menu warp, which is like a little bit faster. So here is a funny escape part of this mission. If we just hug the wall, we'll just escape instantly. A weird new thing that we only found out like not that long ago. And now the armor truck. And I got him. So basically, as you can see, we're driving Bandit. And Bandit is not a very tough car. But the game wants us to destroy a very tough armored car. So doing that with Bandit is extremely slow, but good thing is that we actually have a strat for this. We make him get stuck in that area under the ladder. So he just destroys itself while we're collecting coins and stuff. Also, it is a good idea to just stay here. There is not really a point of you know, driving the other way, because how long it took me to kill the wasps. Because I got unlucky with freebies yet again. Sometimes wasps aren't really your friends in this game.
I mean, they're never your friends, right?
I mean, technically yes, but sometimes they're nice to you.
They're always your enemies.
Sometimes they're nice to you though. Sometimes they like, you know, they just die from the first hit of your car. They don't fly away. They just chill and wait for you to kill them. I mean, I guess you can argue that that's not how you should treat your friends, but I mean, your friends usually don't shoot you and don't steal your coins either.
Hey, move it, Whitey. If you do not, I am the greatest driver in all the land.
And there we go, that was the armor truck.
Fine by me.
And now to the second destruction mission in a row, which is the curator. And then the cutscene skip right after that. So a lot of hard struts coming in a row. Here we also collect some coins on the way to museum. It might look a little scary, but the time limit isn't that harsh. Oh. The hit run meter is a little bit too high though, which makes me... I think I'm a little bit far behind too, and I got trafficked as well. Well, that mission just went very wrong, and I'm not even sure what's happening at this point. So we're just gonna do the backup, hit him here, hit him another time, and this is fine. Not sure what happened, but I mean, it's just traffic things, I guess. There it is. Here we just smash the pause as hard as we can. And usually it'll let you pause. And now on to the next level, on to level 6.
No problemo.
So in this level, we just skip the really big cutscene, which is probably really important, so I should probably talk about the lore again. Considering this mission is really boring because all you do is drive a very slow school bus to the Crustula while collecting kids, so not really a lot of things are happening in this mission. However, the cutscene is a lot more interesting, because now we know that behind that's the people who were behind the surveillance cameras behind the cola were actually Kang and Kodos, the aliens who are filming a reality show in Springfield by filming humans and broadcasting that to their alien television. And their next plan is to distribute laser guns all over the squid ports and to make people, and also to I think they're saying to get cola into the sewers, so you know, so people would go completely insane and start shooting each other to make their ratings go real high. So as Bart, we're gonna be fighting that. Also, I got Hinrun, but shouldn't be a problem. I don't think so.
And
That was a little
I
bit
didn't
close.
miss so many video. Hey, Kearney.
So, barely enough on coins, but all is good. Also talking about coins in this game. Right now there is a pretty big thing about our community. We have a big bounty set. Because in 100% category of this game, we actually have to grind a lot of coins. Because outfits and cars in this game cost a lot of coins. And we don't actually have enough coins in this game from just hitting boxes and stuff. So in 100% of this game we actually have to do coin grinding, which is hitting boxes then restarting missions.
I shouldn't enjoy this so much.
So not a very fun experience. If you're interested in the bounty things, there is a bounty. The 700 bounty of coin grinding skip. If you are interested in that, be sure to look that up. And maybe it'll save me from getting carpal tunnel during coin grinding. I will be very happy if you find anything. This mission isn't very interesting either, just the follow mission during which we got the box, and now just a simple race, but because of how good Globex is, this race is very easy, so. Plus this level has a lot of like big shortcuts that your opponents never take for some reason.
Totally awesome.
And also I have to acknowledge the fact that we got boards. Boards. Board is just a card name, but for some reason it's a big meme.
Oh, this
Boards.
is too cool for school.
So this mission is another follow mission, again. A very boring, like one of the most boring missions in the game in my opinion, because this is just like a 2 minutes follow segment where nothing's really happening and you don't even have that many coins to collect. And oh boy, I wonder where Professor Frink could be going on this map. What if he actually goes to observatory, I wonder. But we'll only know the answer to that in around 2 minutes. For some reason he really likes to drive in circles, so we'll have to drive around the same areas for a few times before he actually goes to his destination.
I blame this computer navigation system.
Again, we remember to do the rubber banding thing, to follow him as close as we can so he drives faster. But here we actually get to this phone booth to call Globex again,
Breaker, breaker. This is
just to get the enter skip stored for the next missions.
Speed ahead. Whee! Oh, that was so cool. Whoa, got it.
Also, it is usually a good idea to despawn the cars in front of him, but I just failed at that.
Whoa.
And oh boy, what a surprise, he was driving to the observatory all this time.
Fine by me.
So, the next two missions are the strat missions of this level.
No problemo.
Both of those are
This car can
fairly difficult, but I hope I will be able to get those. So this mission is the hit and collect mission. We'll have to hit Duff Truck to make him drop a few laser crates, I believe, or something. I don't actually remember what he drops. I think he drops some crates. And then after those there is a very scary for casual play mission named Set to Kill, that I believe a lot of people who play this game casually know and remember. Here we just do a very sharp turn and get him stuck here.
Time for some road rage. Bart Simpson style.
Now we just need to collect the laser gun. So I'd really like to get that freebie, but wasps aren't my friends today, as I said already.
If I show this laser gun to Krusty, he'll have to believe me.
And also for set to kill, I actually have a very big swag strat if you want. If you want, I can showcase. I want to showcase that you can actually skip picking up the first laser stands and still be able to finish the mission. So you can collect all the laser stands and come back in time that's in the first time limit that mission gives you. So I'm gonna be trying for that. It's not a lot faster. It might fall horribly and then I'll look like an idiot. But hey, let's try that.
Believe me now. I'll fry you good. Krusty. Bart Simpson at your service. Let's roll.
It'll require very good driving, but let's see if we can do that. Oh no, I just missed one. How unfortunate. Actually, hit and run would be very bad for this mission, especially for doing it in one round. It wouldn't be that bad for for doing it regularly, but for doing the one round set to kill would be really scary. Also, I have to say that it doesn't save any time. It's just, you know, it just looks cool, so I wanted to show it off. Also, as you probably saw, I skipped another few laser stands in the Squidport area, but you'll see why pretty soon. Because again, we abuse car reset mechanics. We do jump like this, reset our car, and here we are. Now it can be a little bit scary if I get an unlucky car spawn. Please don't ruin it, cops. Thank you. And there you go. One round set to kill. Was a little bit scary, but we got it, PogChamp. So as you can see, you can collect all laser stands and come back to Krusty just in your first timer. You don't even need the additional timer that you get from this game.
Let's do this thing.
A little bit low on coins, but I think I should be just fine. Car resets help a lot in set to kill. Like that set to kill jump from where you actually miss the firing and jump like to the right of it was actually found quite like not that long ago, and it's really good. It saves like 15 seconds in this mission, and it allows you to do that really cool routes, which isn't really faster, but it just looks so nice. So this is the time for the last cutscene skip. We just need to win this race. Again, we're using that boat reset that helps a lot. There it is. And now on to level 7. So what happened in the cutscene that I just skipped was the alien said that the Cola will be waking up dead. So there are a lot of zombies around who are eating people. But it's also Halloween, so I'm not sure how many people are actually zombies and how many are just, you know, in the costumes. So this level is actually got broken really badly, like a few months ago. So this is the level where you're gonna see a lot of new, like relatively new and really hard strats. Also, I'm not sure what's happening here, but I want this vending machine. These strats will start happening starting Pocket Protector, which is the third mission of this level.
Back here. It's our sleeping on board. Oh, guess I'll have to use a hog for a pillow now.
And also, in my opinion, this is the best soundtrack in the game. This one. So we have enough coins to buy zombie car, so we don't need the coins anymore. This zombie car is the last thing we need to purchase in this run. We're only 5 coins over, so we barely picked up anything extra. We actually didn't pick up anything extra, just hit a few extra objects. So the lore of this level is actually pretty boring. All we're gonna be doing is like going from the power plants to school and back to the power plant and back to the school. But the missions are casually quite tricky also. I'm not sure what's happening here. But the traffic car is perfectly blocking the alien car somehow.
Harder than it is.
So this is just a follow mission, but with a few important things to know. That alien car can get stuck in a few places, so it is recommended to stay ahead of it instead of closely following it like we usually did in a follow missions before that. And after this mission, the magic begins. And he still got stuck because reasons. Well, we'll have to wait here for a while. And this is why you do the following manip properly, because if you don't do it properly, he gets stuck. So now the waste missions are coming, and the waste missions are the missions where you have to carry the waste from the power plant to the UFO. But the thing is, you can't hit your car really hard because then the waste blows up. But now this is the way how we do it. Instead of properly driving, we do this.
Oh dear. Oh, my neck.
Let's hope this strat cooperates. This is one of my least favorite strats in the game. Can't really say it is cooperating right now. But eventually, oh really? well, this strat isn't really working, but this strat is a really big run killer, and that is why. Because cages can sometimes knock you off from climbing that wall, and sometimes you can't get a proper bounce. This strat is really hard and kills a lot of runs, but eventually we'll get it. There we go. So as you can see, there is actually no ceiling in that room with waste. So we can just, climb the wall with our Spider-Man techniques and just go over the ceiling and drive out of bounds from the power plant to school. It is much faster to do because the map is like in the form of the letter C. So drive from one side of the C to another. And I got the suck strat, which is obviously the most important one. So it is a lot faster to drive out of bounds instead of inbounds, obviously. And now the tricky parts are starting. We start the race and then we cancel it just so we get our car back. And we drive back to school to start the next mission. And also the suck strat is to kick when Frink says suck, because it skips the celebrating animation of you passing the mission. And now we drive back to the power plant, again, out of bounds.
It's that black car again. Ooh, it has the speed of a sub boss combined with the tenacity of a level boss.
So we want to park our car close to this wall.
Tickling my feet.
And then we can do jump like this to get over that wall. And now we'll have to do some platforming.
Wow, I need a disco nap.
There we go. Here we do Alt Tab during the jump to keep our movements. And here comes the next out of bounds part. So for this one, we'll need a traffic car.
Ouch, my bikini.
I'd really like to get not this car. Okay, I'm taking the ghost boats because I don't want this car. So what we do here is we collect the waste with the car, and then we go back to our car. And then here you may ask me, excuse me, where is the waste? You do know that you need to, you know, to get waste to the UFO and not just your car. And we have quite a neat trick to do that. Because this traffic car with waste will just, after despawning back in the power plant section, it will just spawn here. And it will still keep the waste.
Oh yeah.
So that's how it works. We don't actually need to drive the car with waste. We can just spawn it here. And now the most confusing out of bounds of it all, the 7-6 one. So here I'm gonna be doing a very hard strat called cemetery resets, which is very confusing, and it'll probably be very hard to understand what's happening on the screen. But bear with me. I probably know what I'm doing, maybe.
Hey, that's totally not supposed to happen.
Now that's driving.
Like, out of my way, walking dude.
Yes.
I am the evil
So, what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be doing a lot of car resets to avoid the certain load triggers. To not let the cemetery load.
Eat my dust.
And then we're gonna do the brake boost here. And we're gonna jump over the bridge area to get out of bounds. And we do all that to get to the power plant without actually loading the power plant. And that just lets us get the waste like that and just drive back without actually loading the power plant. So it skips a lot of time on driving back. And we also don't load the school area when driving from this side. So it also allows us to start the next mission out of bounds. As you can probably guess, we'll also use that in the next mission.
Where'd you get that?
We won't be doing this mission inbounds. We'll also be doing this mission out of bounds.
Now why did I come here again?
So first we need to activate the alien car. And now we can just drive back to the power plant.
Stay on target. Let's make
And there it is. This is the end of the huge out of bounds part of Homer 2.
we call sandwiches.
This ends the last drive we do inbounds. The return out of bounds is way too hard and inconsistent to do so. This is the part which we do the same as the casual way. We just drive very carefully back without hitting too many things and without hitting them too hard. Manipulate the traffic Don't go too fast. And everything will be just fine.
Sweet merciful McGillicuddy! You're not gonna get more? In your face! I just hit something.
And the last jump to the UFO.
Now give me a green pill. It helps with the screaming.
There we are.
You aren't gonna
And
put me back.
time. And this is the end of the game. The All-Star missions is done. We defeat
Proud of
the
you.
aliens, the UFO falls, and I guess we can watch the final cutscene. It's pretty great.
Imagine that, scared of some harmless nuclear waste. So very harmless. Oh, cut your fingernails.
That fortune teller was right. I do end up dying in a spaceship crash.
Dad, I'm really proud of you for rescuing us all from that alien invasion.
Did that really happen? I thought it was a bad dream after eating too many raw hot dogs.
No, homie. You're the town hero.
Sweet. And the ninja babysitters? Was that real or a hot dog dream?
Hot dog dream. Dad, your fans want you outside.
Fans? Oh, those fans.
At least our show was a success.
Why did we go to Earth Heaven when we died?
At least we don't have to sit through the stupid video game credits. No!
And there it is. This is the end of the game.
Oh, Maria!
How do you feel? How did it go?
It actually went pretty well. Like the run itself was pretty good. So, well, not super good, but it went better than I expected. So the game was kind of cooperating mostly, and I feel like OBS didn't go that catastrophically wrong. So it was really
Right
cool.
on.
Hope
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And next we've got Shenmue 2. Any last words you'd like to say to the people?
Hope you all enjoyed the run. Hope you all enjoyed the Simpsons hit run. Hope this run made you remember that this game exists. And maybe the remaster will happen. There are some talks about remastering this game are happening. And maybe if more people are talking about it, then the remaster will happen. It'll be pretty cool in my opinion. So, if you enjoyed the run and enjoyed the game, be sure to check out the speedruns. Be sure to check out the other runners, the community. And hope you all enjoy that. Thank you for having me again. And hope you all have a great runs. Have a great marathon.
All right.